Hart here. I just want to let you know that the Pulsechain.com mainnet has launched, and PulseX.com on that mainnet has launched as well. I hope you guys are all enjoying it. We waited a couple years for this, and it's finally here.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hex Token House. Yes, and of course Superman Crypto. Big shout out to everybody streaming to 2 channels, over 9,600 subscribers. Of course, your host Superman in the house every single day, and of course we're enjoying the Pulsechain rollout, and of course we've got opportunities we never thought we'd have, and yeah, we're enjoying to take the most advantage of them. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, get into the chat there, get lively. We love a live community chat, and we've got a cool poll up at the moment, which is pretty cool. We're going to be celebrating the Pulsechain's 100 days highlights and celebrations. So we're ending day 100. We're going to talk about all the metrics, of course, and get into all the cool things that have happened. Get into the chat and put your best highlight. If it's not on the list there for the poll, get in there and put your best highlight that you've enjoyed so far. I've got a poll up on both Hex Token and Superman Crypto. What is your Pulsechain highlight for the first 100 days? And of course, you can post any others that you have that are not on that list, kind of some of the bigger items, of course, in the live chat. We've got launch day, the bridge open, of course. We've got the native PC, that's native Pulsechain projects go live. So we've had a whole bunch of those, probably at least 30 or more, maybe even higher. And of course, we've got SEC whale level buying opportunities, obviously with the SEC event, Black Swan event for Pulsechain. That we've obviously a lot of people in the retail book have been accumulating, which is pretty amazing. We've also seen a lot of project innovation like TYRH burning the supply, as well as having a huge transaction burn with the lower Pulsex buy. So we've seen a lot of that happen, and that metric's just rising really fast, and that's going to take a lot of people by surprise in the future. It really is a mega theme now. And of course, we've got the Heist Stakes premiere, which we've enjoyed over the last 2 weekends, third weekend now. So that's been very, very exciting too on the 3rd and 4th of the month. So that's been a lot of fun. So get in there. We've got those 4 main ones. And of course, let us know in the chat if you've got any others, and we'll read that poll out a bit later. Also, that is on Superman Crypto as well. So get in on that poll too. All right, let's jump over to the chat and say hello and get things up and running. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let me find the banner there. We've got the banner. Bam, there we go. And get into the chat. We got Academiciated in the house there. Hello, Superman and family. Good to see Academiciated in first, of course. We got Humberto as well. Cheers, Superman and family from sunny Dominican Republic. Big shout out to Humberto, as always. I love that flag there flying. Nice. Hex Force 1 says 100 days. Woohoo! Yeah, you got to get excited about that. That is pretty awesome. 100 days, can you believe it? Archie says, hi all, it's Taco Tuesday on a Sunday in Archie's house. That sounds pretty fun, actually, to be honest there, Archie. We got Humberto says, awesome day to celebrate our day 100. We've handled everything they have thrown out at us. That is absolutely true. But our community family remains resilient. My utmost respect to all our RH family. Absolutely well said, Humberto. Well said indeed. We got Wookie as well. Hey, Wookie, good to see you. Wookie is 100% real. That is good to know, Wookie. Sometimes we wonder. We just don't know. We got Adam in the house there. Hex Token, do you ever take a break? Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday to you, Adam. Yeah, well, it is Monday here down under. Obviously, we're streaming from New Zealand at the front of the timeline virtually. And I think there's an island out there somewhere that's got a more advanced timeline, but it's currently 11:37 a.m. Monday, 21st of August. Of course, in the northern hemisphere, it's probably generally it is a Sunday still. And I hope you guys are enjoying your relaxing day. We've got CT as well. Hello, RH family. Good to see you, RH. And hello, Hex Token. Absolutely. Hi, Crypto Tycoon. We've got Ivor as well. Yo. The D-Base as well. Swag unit went 90% down. PLS discount. Where do you see that bottom at? Yeah, that's right. So that's probably a reasonable zone. We're trying to hold on to this line at the moment. They're D-based. So that's probably where we're looking to fight. But in terms of the retail books getting to accumulate at wild prices, that can't be too bad. 100 days closer to freedom, says Crypto Tycoon. I like how you're saying that, CT. And we got Mecca as well. Hakuna Matata. Yeah, Christian is absolutely crushing the D-gen there at the moment. So nice one, Christian. Actually doing pretty well. Harry Williams says, yo, hello. Good to see Harry. And we've got Brennan as well. Morning, folks. Good to see Brennan, our TA specialist in the house. And we've got Hex Force 1. My favorite thing about 100 is the core community sticking together through this FUD. Absolutely, Hex Force 1. Absolutely. Now, we know the prices are down, so it's no use, talking about that so much. It's really about what opportunity can you get from that. Well, you can accumulate lots of volume, and at the moment, it's kind of, you can get like whale level type of prices compared to the sacrifice price. So particularly on Pulsex, right? So, and I think Pulsex is going to have the biggest spin around as well, because it's got the relative ratio move versus Pulse. And we've got lots of potential things coming up. All the big protocols are still yet to launch. And of course, we've got potentiality for experimental single-sided staking as well. So lots of cool things happening now. And the buy and burn is looking amazing. All right, so we've got a few highlights, of course. Let's play out. We're going to get into all that. Let's move to a different situation here. We're going to go to this format. Bam! Look, I got really small. And this was something that was really good highlight for me. Was Richard Hart, right? Richard Hart putting out before the highest of stakes out on the 3rd of what month is it? August, 3rd of August. Yeah, what month is it? 3rd of August, and of course he did a opening for the premieres at the highest of stakes movie. So we're going to play a bit of that. So I hope you guys enjoy his opening to that.
Richard Hart here, welcoming you to the highest of stakes premiere. I really hope that you guys are going to enjoy it. These guys put blood, sweat, and tears for years into this project. Wasn't my idea. Didn't have anything to do with the production. Didn't have anything to do with anything. I was just in a bunch of scenes. Yay. I'm a movie star. No, I'm a clown. The me that you see in this film died, so enjoy it. Humble me is what exists now. What I wished that everyone would get is that there's only a few things in this world that can really change man's relationship with government, man's relationship with money, man's relationship with his time. Right now, we've got the highest inflation we've had since I've been alive, and that's 43 years now. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. And we've got banks collapsing, and we've got bailouts, and all of the things that people predicted would come true that are the reason that cryptocurrency was invented are happening. You know, there's certain countries that you may not have been to that this is life or death for them. You know, high inflation countries where their money is worth, half as much at the end of the next year as it is this year. You got to get your money out of those currencies. And the dollar is not one of those currencies yet. But historically, about every 50 years, fiat currencies fail. It's very hard to have a fiat currency backed by nothing that lasts longer than 50 years, it seems. And, dollar's been around for a while. So I hope you guys enjoyed the movie. I feel that it's wildly important for you to understand that the future really is digital. It really is cryptocurrency. And if you can get around the gatekeepers, if you can get the word out, if you can get people to learn about something that could really change the future, everyone gets rich together. When you get rid of all the middlemen and you get rid of all the waste and you get rid of all the inefficiency, that value, it goes somewhere. And it goes to the people that deserve it, the people that believed. Enjoy the film, everybody.
So I thought that was a really, really great intro to the highest of stakes. And it's really about the community and growing and keep pushing forward. We've got a huge community, very highly active, engaged community, and onwards and upwards. We've got the playground on Pulsechain to grow. And we're doing really, really well. We've already seen, with Coinbase base launch, it's a bit of a wild west over there. And we've already seen, obviously, issues around Shibarium and things like that. So Pulsechain has done pretty well, I think, done pretty well indeed. And so we've got a lot of opportunities to do even better. Accumulate and get in a good position. Now, obviously, that was the intro to the highest of stakes film, which launched on the 3rd, which is pretty cool. That's kind of phase 1. Phase 2, of course, we're expecting potentially get one of the OTTs, one of the big streaming firms at least. So we'll be looking forward to the developments with the highest of stakes. So pretty cool. And in the meanwhile, we've also got a little bit of a 90-second take on the highest of stakes, which really sums up some of the excitement in the past. Now, this is in the past, right? So obviously we had a lot of things happen since the forming with the Pulsechain and things like that. I know a lot of people have been talking about, doing a sequel as well, which would probably be quite useful. We've got plenty of good content for that now, right? We could really dramatize that pretty nicely. Let's check it out.
Is Richard Hart. Genius.
Legendary.
The arrogant, bit of a narcissist.
The benevolent king.
$250,000. Hate me, hate me. I'm farther than you'll ever be in your whole life. Whatever the governments have been doing, it's not worked out. You've never had worse interest rates. Your money has never been worth less. And the only thing that's making it better is cryptocurrency.
Crypto is money without governments, and it is money without banks.
You're not going to meet another product like this as long as you live. Yes, every scammer in the world is going to tell you something similar.
Good morning, everyone. Are you ready to look for some fraud this morning?
They are promising 40% annual return.
Everything I have worked for is staked in Hex.
Good.
I put it all in.
All what?
All over house money.
No, I don't think that it's a scam. Because I trust Richard Hart.
If ultimately this is all a big performance art project, people are gonna get fucked.
So that means I should trust you.
Listen, I think you should trust me, but if you get into the habit of trusting people like me, you get the crap scammed out of you.
So I really love that end because it's such a little bit of a paradox thing. It has you. I love the look on the economist's face. He's like, "What?" I love that part. That's really cool. It gets people like thinking, "Oh, what's that mean? What does that mean?" So I really like that stuff. So I just want to say a big shout out, of course, to Richard Hart, of course, the founder of Pulsechain, Pulsechain and Hex. Really has been incredible execution and development. Obviously, there's always been a few little issues here and there, but I think overall it's been pretty good. I know there's a bit of an issue with the block scout at the moment being re-indexed and things like that, but things are moving forward quite nicely. I think overall we also got the auto explorer out there too. That's pretty cool. A big shout out to the Pulsechain devs team, which is amazing. 3 Commas Capital, Brett, there I like to call him Brett, and of course Gamma, SJB, and many others in the team there as well. So it's been really, really cool with the Pulsechain team, which is pretty neat. All right, we've got a few more comments in the chat from people that jumped in. Pudding Guru says, appreciate the alpha. Smash up the like. Definitely smash up the like. Thanks, Pudding Guru. Appreciate that. Prices down equals opportunities, says Christian. Absolutely. And Christian's been crushing that, so well done to you. Clintron as well. G'day, Hex Token Crew. Hey, good to see you, Clintrons. Like your star on your name as well. Definitely hit the likes. Rich May says, TRH to the Mars. Yeah, absolutely amazing. So we're seeing some really incredible game theory on Pulsechain. Jacob, of course, one of just a super smart dev, executing some really nice game theory there as well on that one. So looking good. We're going to talk about that later on too. Wookie says, hello all, Hex, EHEX, PLSX, incentive for the win, 100%. And appreciate that for lies. Filling in for lies there. Very nice work there, Wookies. We've got Hex Dad and us as well, a Tan Gang baby. We are keeping Hex believers entertained with the good old, was it oranges? Yeah, nice. Good to see you, Hex Dad. Well played. What else there? Someone posted one of those in the Discord. I think it was Christian. Cheshire Universal Oneness. Hey, Hex PLS family. Hope everyone is doing well today. That's very nice. Thank you so much for that. It was really cool. We've got George Tucker as well. What's up, guys? Good to see you, George. What else are we going to go? Rich May says no break for Hex Token. That's right. 24/7, 365 on fire. I like that one, Rich May. That's pretty cool. What else? I love that part. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like the little 90-second video. You're talking about the intro, right? Brennan says the look on their face at the end. Yeah, it is so funny. Yeah, I find it funny every time I see it. Adam says the movie was great. Mostly looking forward to streaming distribution so I can share. Yeah, that'd be really, really cool, right? That would be really cool. Joe says I like calling him Bretep too. Yeah, no. Well, I like Stargate, and it reminds me of one of the Egyptian gold gods in the Stargate. So yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. What else we got going on there? Let's jump here. Right, so cool. I think we're up to date there. So let's move on to some of the highlights. We're going to shift back into new format here. Hope you guys are enjoying that. Let me get rid of that and go on there. Bam. So, yeah, we've got the Hex.com. So Richard Hart's created, quite a few things. So we've got Hex.com. It's been created with his team, which is pretty amazing. Hex.com been around, of course, since around about the, was it 2nd, 3rd of December 2019, which is pretty amazing. And we're in our 4th year now. So Hex.com, check it out. You can buy Hex and, of course, get T-shares with your Hex. Your Hex gets burned, you get T-shares, and you can start mining Hex on both Pulsechain and Ethereum, which is pretty amazing. I think the site looks pretty dope. And of course, Hex.com, you can't do much better than that. Elon Musk has got his X, turning Twitter into X. But of course, Richard Hart already on the Hex as well. So if you like geniuses, you're in good company, right? The other thing, of course, I love seeing the PulseX front end on Hex.com as well, which is pretty cool. And such a simple name to do. We've obviously got Pulsechain as well, Pulsechain.com. Obviously, the first full system stake fork of Ethereum. Pretty amazing. Of course, the 10th of May at 10:36 UTC time, everything on Ethereum got copied over to Pulsechain, and wow, it's amazing. Biggest airdrop in crypto history at that time, and of course, pretty amazing stuff. And of course, we've been seeing a lot of these ERC20s that got copied over as PRC20s. We've been seeing them get priced up, which has been pretty fun, right? Which is pretty cool. And all you have to do is switch, add the network to Pulsechain and switch over from Ethereum or Phantom or wherever else you are. And you can see everything on Pulsechain, which is pretty neat. We love crypto and DeFi, of course. Pulsechain leading the way on DeFi, and it's only just warming up 100 days into it. So it's pretty cool. The other one, of course, is PulseX. And of course, a beautiful V2 fork. And look onwards and upwards for PulseX with the special super buy and burn, something that you don't see on the other Ethereum and other things. Is having a big buy and burn for all the thousands of trading pairs, all the volume buying and burning Pulsex, the main coin. But it is dual token as well. We have the incentive token, which encourages people to bridge in their valuable stables and other tokens. And of course, like Ethereum over to Pulsechain. And of course, we get to pair those up and get that bonded liquidity. So it's pretty exciting like that. Really cool tokenomics and a real advantage, a competitive advantage for sure. Maybe even an absolute advantage if you like economics. It's pretty cool. So Pulsex absolutely flying at the moment. So we're going to get into all that. Before we do that, though, so I just want to give a big salute to those three platforms that Richard has built and his team has built. So a big shout out to all of them. You got to give kudos where kudos is due. And talking about that, Richard Hart did a tweet today. And of course, he talked about hexcrypto.com. I think we've talked about this in the past already from Hex Toys. And of course, a new front end to run Hex code has been spotted at hexcrypto.com. It appears to support Wallet Connect 2.0 as well. So obviously on Hex Toys, and we've covered that too, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to post a link to that tweet if you want to see that. It's the tweet today from Richard, which is pretty suitable given it's 100 days now that we're celebrating Pulsechain launch, which is pretty amazing. So that is the link to the tweet there from Richard. What else? We got a few other comments in here. Let's have a look here. We got Pulsepot in the house. Good to see Jacob, TYRH, hashtag on fire. Yeah, Pulsepot is crushing at the moment. And of course, there's a massive amount has been burned as well. Many of you may not know that a lot of TYRH has been burned. Was it 16%, something like that? It's pretty high. Archie will know the number, but I think it's around about 16% has been burned. So that's actually bullish for the price as well. Tom Boss is in here. Is there anywhere online to watch the movie yet? Not that I'm aware of, Tom Boss. It's still not on a streaming service yet, but that's part of phase 2. We'll see how we get on there. That unless Brazology or somebody knows. TYRH needs more attention, in my opinion. I think it's grabbing a lot of attention, but this is getting a lot of attention already. It's being noticed by a lot of people. Hex token is cheap right now, says Lel. It is indeed. We're going to be watching with that. Single-sided staking is probably going to help that a lot too. Hexcavator is in-house. Woo! Got the squirrel. Hexcavator, is that the old red squirrel? Hexcavator's got a red squirrel. Normally, apparently, they're supposed to be quite troublemakers, but Hexcavator seems to be handling the squirrel quite fine. Keep burning the INC. Yeah, well, TRH is burning the INC, isn't it? So TRH is absolutely crushing it on there. Christian says TRH to the moon, plant a seed, give it water, and watch it grow into a plant, and your dollars will grow, says Christian. Nice one there. Hi, everybody. Charity Dunning in the house. And Wookie says Burn has lit itself on fire too. Yeah, Burn started to rise as well. Burn was underpriced in my view, so it started to rise up there. Hexcavator says some PLSX as well. That's true. All right, that is from Richard. Let's jump over to the markets quickly. We're going to talk about a lot of the Pulsechain stuff with the metrics over the last 100 days. We've got BTC at the moment, obviously pulled down from 29,000 down to 26. Got down into the high 2500s, but is sitting here in 26,000 zone. ETH at 1686. The stock market last week was down for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think. And of course, we've also had the issues here. BTC, some people talking about SpaceX or a couple other issues that have been out. So this is where we are. It's holding at the moment. That leads us into Pulsechain, of course. Pulsechain, we're going to talk about some of the highlights, of course. These are the stats. We're on day 100. So really, we're reading out the day 100 stats here. We got the price at quadruple 0454 at the moment, down 1.14%. So at 45% of the sacrifice price. And this is down where the whales are. This is where the whales are in terms of the sacrifice price. So you guys are getting to pick up Pulsechain at the whales price. And you got to remember some of the whales like Overwatch doing something like $30 million in sacrifice. You're getting that sort of access to the 2.5 multiplier. It's pretty badass. And you guys in the retail book, get accumulate. Markets provide opportunities. That's the way markets work. And you guys got the opportunity there as well. If you believe in the Pulsechain, of course, and do your own financial due diligence, all that good stuff as well. But that is where we are at the moment on Pulsechain. And let's have a look at the actual Pulsechain price. The Pulsechain price there at the moment is, you can see the chart there. We've been holding this for about a week. So that's even more. We've got 9 days actually. It's been longer than that. We've been holding this price range for about 8 days, and we even held it when Bitcoin went down from 29K down to 25, 26K, which is really, really encouraging, right? So that's kind of cool on the old chart there. So cool. We've also broken through this higher resistance at the moment, obviously moving sideways. So let's see if we can break out to the upside at some stage. In the meantime, accumulate is the opportunity. We also got Pulsex at the moment is quadruple 014. And of course, this is only 14% of the sacrifice price. So you think about it, Pulse is at 45% of the sacrifice price for the main, the main sacrifice price that people got. And this is at quadruple 014, only 14%. With the single side staking, the big protocols coming, particularly Pulsex, the Power City Earn protocol for Pulsex, going to collateralize that. And of course, they've got big followers and big influencers in there. We could see some really good stuff happening in the old Pulsex area. So between those two metrics, and of course, we've got the big buy and burn going on as well. So pretty optimistic about where Pulsex is heading. And we may get a nice relative change between Pulsex and Pulse in the future. At the moment, it is 1 Pulse to 3.23 Pulsex. We were looking at that measure as well. And Pulsex has managed to inch out a little bit of an increase at the moment on the 24-hour basis, up a third of a percent. So that's pretty good. Pulse is down 1%. So there we are, a little bit of cool stuff happening in Pulsex. Now, the buy and burn is amazing. I think this is up 3 billion from yesterday. So the buy and burn is going amazing. We're at 368.8 billion burned after 100 days. Can you believe it? 368.8 billion burned after 100 days. 1.78% of the public supply. So this excludes the Origin account, and that's pretty cool as well. So looking really good on the old Pulsex measures, and we'll be watching this buy and burn in the future. 1.78% of the public supply of Gone Burger, and of course we're on day 100, so pretty cool. Let's have a look at Pulsex. Pulsex looking pretty similar to Pulsechain, of course, and of course we're breaching out of that different resistance. We are down around the 78 Fibonacci as well. And of course, not surprising given we had a Black Swan event of the SEC in here back here on the 31st of July. But yeah, we're just moving sideways, which is pretty good. I think that's a confidence builder. All right, and a lot of the big protocols have backed off, and since they've still got the Fetch Oracle, that's going to be the first big blues clues to the fact that we've got the big protocols coming like Power City, Liquid Loans, PH Universe, even Fiat seems to have backed off their launch. So that's giving it a bit of time in the market to flood through with the SEC event. And of course, it does look like the market's calmed down for the time being over the last 9 days. So that's not bad either. We've had obviously, so we'll be watching that. Let's jump over to the Hex, of course, PHEX at the moment. PHEX showing a bit of weakness, of course. We are down at 0.0776 cents. So almost 3/4 of a penny is the price, not quite. And of course, one PHEX will get you 171 pulse, so weakening versus the pulse there. We've also got one PHEX, one EHEX is at 0.04 cents, a 0.4 of a penny. That's actually holding there, which is not too bad. And one PHEX equals 1.95 EHEX at the moment. So that's pretty much it. Combined EHEX and PHEX is 1.17 cents at the moment. So on the weaker side, and PHEX is down 2% at the moment. So it's kind of the summary numbers there. So that is the prices. Let's give a quick look at the incentive token. It is down at $1.70, but if we look at the ratio to Pulse, it is also down at 37,621. So that is just shedding every day. No surprises there. And maybe single-side staking will help that, because at the moment that's down 2.7% at the moment. So the worst performer, obviously, with the ratio and the price of Pulse going down. We've got 8.6 million incentives in supply, and we've got 38,900, so basically 38,000 incentive tokens burned, and that's burning through the TRH protocol, which is burning faster than the PulseX burn in terms of rate. So we're at 0.442% of incentive tokens is now burned through the TRH protocol. So it's actually crushing it as well. And the TRH protocol is also burning Pulse, PulseX, and Hex, which is pretty cool. So we've got third-party dApps by people like Jacob from the BNB bot team that are doing crushing it on the buy and burn. We've got other protocols too, which are going to look to do that also. So a pretty exciting space here. You can see the supply side is going to get eaten up slowly, and therefore you need less demand pressure, or at least when demand pressure comes on, the price can be relatively go up quite strong. Obviously, that does depend on what's on the liquidity as well versus the total supply. But generally speaking, that's going to be an upward price pressure over time. So we'll watch that play out. That is pretty much on the old hexes, but let's have a look. We're on 100 days. So we looked at the prices. Let's look at the validators we've got after 100 days. And we can see that we're at 39,305 validators after 100 days. Richard Hart was talking about changing the validator tokenomics, make it competitive with Ethereum, and of course talked about 40,000, getting an APY of about 3 or 4% was the end result. I think it's higher than that, but you can let me know in the chat there if you're in a validator. But 39,305 is the current number. Richard pretty much called that. That's another great call from Richard there. And we've got validators pretty much around the world. I'm not sure if this map truly represents all the validators, but it does have an indication of validators there at the moment. So we've got validators, like I say, in United States, in Latin America, and we've got some in South Africa there. So Africa's got some. We've got in Europe, of course, and Asia. And, of course, we've got Australasia as well. And like I say, maybe we'll have one in Antarctic one day at the Scott base or something like that. Who knows? We just got to onboard somebody from the science team down in Antarctica there or something like that. But that's pretty cool. 39,305. Richard pretty much did pretty well. I don't know whether he gave us 100 days, but definitely it looks pretty good. We got 1.26 trillion pulses off the market, staked with the validators, which is pretty impressive. That doesn't include, of course, the 4,096 Genesis validators with their 131 billion pulse burn. And, of course, it doesn't include the IP 1559 burn as well in the chain that goes through every block. So that's pretty cool. We can see the blocks, though, or the burn. Every single block has got pulse burning. So that's slowly disappearing, and that's kind of cool as well. So looking good. Let's go to the, where do I want to go there? We're going to go to the gas prices. After 100 days, we got PulseX still looking super cheap. 2 cents for a PulseX swap, 1/10 of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer, and 3/10 of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. So really great place or sandpit to play and get to enjoy things. The biggest thing about this is that you get to enjoy being able to compound things. You know, the 8th wonder of the world, Einstein said, or at least that they associate that quote to him. And you know, it's amazing that you get to compound. That's that power. Very difficult for people, particularly in the retail book, to compound on Ethereum where it's expensive. But on Pulsechain you can do it, and we see a lot of the protocols allow you to do that on the Pulsechain, the native Pulsechain, which is pretty amazing. And of course, that would include any projects from Ethereum that want to, get themselves going. A lot of those fell over because they were based on compounding, and they got expensive, right? Because you have to approve a token, then you have to stake a token, and then you have to try and compound a token. All adds up pretty quickly, and it can get pretty expensive, especially in the bull market, where if you start getting prices of $100 to do this, $150 to do that, it really just kills off a lot of those protocols, and we see that too. So we're at the moment, we're currently at 441 times cheaper than Ethereum in the bear market conditions. And of course, we've got 334 times cheaper than Bitcoin. And you know that when it gets bullish or a lot of activity comes on the chain, this starts hitting into the thousands of times cheaper than Ethereum, which is pretty cool. And Richard Hart always just kind of described it like opening up another McDonald's and increasing that capacity. And I think that plays out pretty well, that theme. So onwards and upwards for that. Now, let's go to the number of transactions. I think we're down the bottom here. yeah, number of transactions, we're just ticking over. We've had a bit of an uptick too lately as well. Look at that. So a bit of uptick in the transactions, which is pretty cool. So kind of cool. Active wallets, still around 10,000 it's saying here. So I'm just going off these numbers. So we've got a bit of work to do in terms of getting more active wallets. But in terms of transactions, they've been going up really, really nicely. So good work on that as well. All right. So let's move over to, I think, is that the final one I was going to show? I think so. Bridge values, blocks. Yeah, I think so. We got some stuff on the blocks as well. Yeah, with 10-second block times, obviously 17 times cheaper, faster than Ethereum with that as well, which has played out pretty well. All right, so that is some of the highlights there from where we're up to after 100 days. But we've got a bit more data as well. Here we are on June.com, and we can see that the history of the network here of the official bridge. So this data is drawn, the official bridge. The dashboard tracks the deposits and withdrawals of the official block Pulsechain bridge. So just using this as the primary data, then we can see that we had a really nice increase in the bridge funds. We got up to about 175 million based on this. That was the net flow. And of course, it was indicating that at the beginning here on the 24th of May, we had something like $250 million of deposits, 76 million of withdrawals, I think that is. Yeah. And we ended up with net capital flow at about the 24th of May based on this data at $175 million US dollars. We kept tracking along pretty similar to that for quite a bit of time. Obviously, we got to the SEC Black Swan event, and then we saw some capital exit, which is not surprising. So we were sitting at around about 175 million based on this data, and then we got pushed down to about 147 million US dollars on the net flow. So we saw some withdrawals pick up there, yeah, we pretty much were sitting at around 368 million before that event in terms of withdrawals, and then that started to spike down to around about 418 millions in withdrawals on USDC coming out of the official bridge. We managed to pick that up a bit, but of course, when we had $3 million come over the bridge and got a nice little pump, you guys know the pump, and this pump here, the quasi V recovery, wasn't a proper V recovery. It was a quasi V recovery here where we had these big up days here, yeah, that's kind of the play there we had. Yeah, so we just slowly, and then we sort of slowly edged down a little bit here. We had that recovery back up to 154 million US dollars, and we slowly edged down here to where we are today. We're sitting at around about 148 million net flow into the chain. So that's pretty much it at the moment, which gives, based on this data, we had deposits of about 110 million US dollars, withdrawals at about $463 million. And of course, just the last couple of days, we've had Coast launch, or last week or so. I can't remember how long when it launched now, but the last week or so, we had Coast launch with the direct fiat on-ramp to Pulsechain, which is pretty cool. And I think we've also got, I think we've got the BNB bridge as well. I think it's running through Portal X, if I remember rightly. So yeah, we've got more roads to roam, more roads to Pulsechain opening up all the time. So very, very bullish about that. And Coast looks like it was a bit of a soft launch, but it does look like it's gaining liquidity. And we're getting better arbitraging and better peering, particularly through the balancer fork, which has good stable maths for stables. So it works well for CST as well, stable native stablecoin. And of course, in the future, we've got the big protocols, PowerCity, Liquid Loans launching their Liquidity forks, bringing 2 new stable coins as well. That's going to attract a lot more attention as well in the DeFi space. So looking forward to that with USDL and PXDC stables. So cool. That's pretty much it on that. Let's jump over to DeFi Llama. Obviously, we're having good funds coming to the Pulsechain is great. But of course, also having big, awesome DeFi protocols launching is very important as well. Yeah, we've got a lot of meme coins and DGN projects, but we also, you need that, right? Those communities, they're always going to play. It makes for a healthy chain. You get lots of burn on Pulsechain with the EIP 1559 burn. You get a lot of PulseX buy and burn. So the more volume, the better. Obviously, generally, if you're wise, you want to focus on the more sustainable DeFi projects for longer term value, but there's something for everybody, right? As well. So we can see here on DeFi Llama under the Pulsechain saying TVL locked at the moment, 149. This is undervalued in my view. It lacks, often can lack a lot of the tokens that don't get pulled in properly into this. So the valuations are understated. But at the moment, this is the cycle at the moment. So you got the May 20th May 19th here. So you're just ticking up here. It says that we got up to 492 million on TVL, sort of obviously floating down there. We got up to the SEC event here, the 31st of July. We're sitting at 327, and then we dropped down to 136. Then we sort of climbed back to 217, and now it's saying that we're around about 150 at the moment on the TVL. So that's it, but we've got a lot of the protocols that have been launching on Pulsechain, of course. We got Pulsex, PHUX, Pulse Rate, Daytona Finance, Chirp Finance. Many of these you've seen. Easy Swap is out there, Velocity. These are on multi-chains. So, yeah, all those are there. So a lot of the DEXs are out there. So DEX is in there. And farms as well. I know that they've got Pulse Rate as algo stable. So Pulse Rate is a fork of Tomb, but they've got algo stables there. I wouldn't put it there. I'll probably put it in the DEX's farming there, but PHUX would probably have a DEX algo stables. That's what you should have for PHUX, a fork of Balancer, right? So kind of cool. So Pulsex V2 fork there. We've got Daytona Finance as well, Chip Finance as well. So we've had a couple of these. They don't show all of the ones there. But definitely got a couple that are around about at the moment. We've also had a couple of scams, of course, like GPLX come in, rug pills, something like that was got up to about $2 million or something. So we've had a few of those, unfortunately, hit the market as well. All right, so that is pretty much DeFi Llama. So doing pretty well is the old after 100 days. And we've got a lot of the big ones. These are all sort of the medium-sized ones. Apart from PHUX, the rest of them are probably pretty much medium-sized. PHUX, of course, has been a really top performer there with, up to, I think, up to $35-40 million. It's been around 25 million a lot of the time as well. So PHUX has performed very well. And that's from the PH Universe team. Obviously, they've got Fiat coming as well, and famous the fork of GMX coming also. So some nice stuff there from PHUX there as well. All right. Very useful, too, for a lot of the other project teams. So that's kind of some of the highlights there. That I wanted to go through for the first 100 days. Hopefully, I've covered quite a few things: transactions, wallets, prices, inflows, the main DeFi. We're going to cover a lot more of that, though, with the projects updates as well. So pretty cool. Let's get into the chat there and see what people have been saying as well. Let's jump to that before we get into the Pulsechain projects on the charts. Who else has jumped in here? Let's see. We've got Archipelago says 17% of burn has been burned in 27 days. 3.74% of all TRH has been burned in about 35 days. So that's the TRH ecosystem, which is burning RH tokens. Pretty awesome. And burning itself as well, apparently. All right, so 70% of burn has been burned in 27 days. 3.74% of TRH has been burned in about 30 days. Those are the actual numbers. Nice one. Adam's in the house here with the lit looking good. We've got Anita as well. G'day all. Good to see you, Anita. And I keep jumping past Wookie's comments because they're pretty mind-blowing, really. Just so amazing alpha there for Wookie. What else there? We've got Wake Dog. Wake Dog's in the wrong chat. Wake Dog. We got Dallas there as well. We got put your time out. What else we got there? I think have we got a membership in there? I think we have. Wake Dog keeps coming and trying to FUD the chat all the time. I'm not sure why he does that, but he does. We got a super sticker in there. Actually, he's giving out 5 Hex Token memberships. Big shout out. I don't know why that doesn't show up in my studio for some reason. We got so 5 Hex Token memberships. Wookie got one. Genuine got one. Charity got one. Jonah Hex got one. And Lost in Crypto got one as well. So I think congratulations to all of you guys. Big congrats. Valiant says, is the chat working? I only see 2 posts other than Superman. Are you on Superman Crypto? Good to see you, Valiant, and Superman Crypto there. We've got Valiant in there, D-Base, Hexcavator in Superman Crypto chat. So, and Wookie's in there. And Hexcavator as well. So there's a couple of people in there as well. We're building back up Superman Crypto. It's been doing pretty well on the views. Just building up the live stream as well. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but it's slowly building. The views are building quite nicely, so I'm pretty happy with that on Superman Crypto. If you're on Superman Crypto, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and get engaged. That'll be really cool. Thanks for the update, Superman. You're welcome. Who else is here? We got Christian says, congrats. Absolutely. Besides RH tokens, I'm placing small bets on Paul Pleb and Internet Money just a sprinkle. I think Paul Pleb's a very good play, Valiant. I think the upside of 9-inch DEX is going to be very, very good indeed. And I think PLD also, Pulse Dodge, And of course, where did the ETH go? Those tokens probably going to do very well. I think Pulse Dodge is the one that's most undervalued, and we'll see what happens there when 9-inch launches. Obviously, they're trying to address their audit and get their code up to scratch before launching. $16 million raised with them. Amazing stuff. Internet money will do well over time. It's more of a longer play. You need adoption. So adoption is going pretty well from what I can see. But you still need a lot more adoption. And I think they'll do it at the end. Talk about another 12 months if they keep up their rate of growth. Then if they can start heading towards some decent percentage of MetaMask, then yeah, that will be very successful in my view. In any case, you're earning income if you're owning the time token in the wallet. Wookie always brings the alpha. Yeah, Wookie does. Good to see a token and chat family. Hope everybody has been able to enjoy some beach time in the summer. Says Paul. Yeah. Well, we're entering our winter, so I hope you guys have enjoyed your summer because we're ending our winter, but it is very wintry, raining today, crazy, and of course we've got 9 days, something like left of our winter here. So 9 days left of official winter. It'll probably keep raining after that. Thanks, Archie, says Jerry. Yeah, big shout out to Archie there. Yes, sir. We win. We do indeed. All right. Let's jump over to the charts again and get back in the format. Hey, I'm doing better today than I did yesterday. Remember yesterday I did it for about 20 minutes or something. I forgot to show the screen, which is crazy, but that's because I had a new format and wasn't really thinking about it too much. All right. So let's have a look at the top PRC 20s. People are talking about this, honestly. We're getting a lot of price ups happening at the moment. So it's been pretty fun in the old PRC price discovery. Richard talked a lot about this price discovery. So yeah, we've got some activity happening. Compound is the best performer on my list. Now, I don't have everything on this list. Obviously, you can go to the all platforms and have a look at that. This is my custom list. But there's some of these have very small liquidity. So you got to take that into account. I'm just doing it by percentage on 24-hour basis, not liquidity. We've got Compound at the top, Aave, Uni, Link, Matic, ApeCoin, all that stuff doing pretty well. But let's go to the liquidity and have a look at the bigger pools. So we've got Atropa at the top there. Obviously, Atropa, the talk of the town. Everyone's talking Atropa. And of course, there's lots of people making different discoveries there. Some people talking about Beetroot. A lot of volumes going through Beetroot, funding this Atropa. And of course, helping to burn DAI, paired to DAI, and burning DAI and things like that. So this sort of talk around there online. So there's lots of stuff. People with their different arguments for what's happening with the Atropa and DAI, and of course the other top PRC 20s as well, running like USDC, USD Tether, Compound, Aave, many of the others all running, and some of them are doing nothing, and then suddenly they just spike up and they start doing prices, stuff like that. So there's a lot of activity happening in price discovery land, and there's some good content out there if you want to follow that along. All right, so kind of cool. What else? Yeah, we might see a big burn through Beetroot, right? So that could be cool. We've obviously got a DAI, of course, the target there seems to be doing pretty well. I mean, look at this. Let's go to the 4-hourly because it's a bit hard to see. That's the 4-hourly chart. Look at that thing go. So yeah, we've had some pretty cool action. And this, we had 1 wave, 2 waves, 3 waves. Are we going to get a 4th wave? This wave here, pretty amazing. You remember this was this one here. This candle was the Somi tweet. He tweeted out there, and I think that the price came down, not just because of Somi, but that definitely had an influence. And of course, then the price rallied up there. Seems to be arbitrage play, and people talking about DAI burn and stuff like that. We got all the way up here, pretty high on the old P DAI. We got up to just over 0.2 of a penny, 2.2. So 2200th of a penny, and we've come down consolidated in here, and looks like we're on the verge potentially of breaking out again for the 4th wave. You just got it here, folks. The 4th wave, not the 4th column, not the 4th column. So especially the mainstream media is at 4th column, but up here, up maybe it's the 5th column. Now we're on the 4th column, and maybe a cent is in the marker. That's a cent right up there, that yellow line. That's a cent there. I better make it a bit bigger. That's a cent there. Look at that. And are we going to do it? Are we going to do a 4th wave? We'll see what happens. But it does teetering. It hasn't done it yet though. But it is teetering on a kind of a breakout there. Let's zoom in on it. This has been a lot of fun to watch for sure. So here we are. We've been breaking these angular resistances. They've all disappeared, and we're pushing higher, but we haven't yet broke out at the moment. So let's see if we do. or we're going to see some big red candle come down. We'll see. So it's teetering at the moment on moving higher. So we will see. So that is pretty much it. That one there's gone too. So I'm going to doesn't make that disappear, and so on. So yep, and that's gone too. It's gone as well. So we'll see how we get on here, and we're going to pull that up now too because that's a bit higher. So this one here is the 1/10 of a penny. This line here. So we'll see whether it can break higher here on that formation. I guess we can put another one over here, this one here, and see how we're going on that one. That is kind of where we are at the stage. I'm going to pull it back down a little bit further there. All right, that's P-Dice. We'll be watching the action on that. It certainly didn't break out over the weekend, but it didn't go down on Sunday, which it could have gone down on Sunday, although it's still Sunday in the United States. But hey, it probably looks like it's doing okay so far. Wrap Bitcoin, of course, is doing pretty well too. 206K liquidity, and that's not doing too bad at the moment. Currently at $53. Got to as high as $86. So we're watching that one too. That seems to be popular. Pepe, of course, now talking about the 9-inch decks coming, we've got Pepe and SHIB will likely do very well as the 9-inch founders coins like Paul Pleb, Pulse Dodge, and Where Did the ETH Go? These are the sort of ones that seem to be obvious one. Remember, 9-inch is going to be a meme, primarily meme decks, and of course could have some pretty cool tokenomics pumping those assets. So these have definitely been ones to accumulate. And Pepe there is probably the best of them all in the sense that it doesn't really need any other narrative, and valued up on Ethereum for no good reason really other than money flowing into it and the shared narrative. And of course, this one here could do it too on Pulsechain. So currently it looks pretty cheap in the support area. Obviously not financial advice, but that is kind of the play there. And we've got Maker also doing, it's got 71K liquidity. That is down today, 6%. Wrap Bitcoin there, another one there. SHIB, of course, 47,000. That's down 5%. SHIB is the other one that could do quite well, although obviously the narrative on Ethereum's was hit a little bit, but seems to be pushing forward as well with the main Shibarium dev there saying everything is okay. So it's going to go up and to the right. So that is the SHIB there at the moment. So some nice little pickups, potentialities. All right, let's jump away from the top PRC20 discoveries and move to the meme coins in particular and have a look at the performance so far. So we've got Detached Soul actually doing okay there, but very low liquidity. Big shout out. He's in our community, by the way. We've got Hex Orange Address, of course, up 15%. You saw they were in there with Hex Dad. Was it Hex Dad in there earlier? That's up the last 2-3 days, so not too bad there. And 15th of a 15th of a penny. Is that right? 1500th of a penny up on that one. It's much harder to say. It's easy to say 1/10 of a penny than it's to say get into the hundredths. Just the way it is. All right, so cool. We got cool stuff happening there. Paul Pleb, 2.53% is up on the day. So this is one of the targets for the 9-inch. Still had a little bounce off there, just like I indicated, but still well short of where it could go. I mean, this thing could go really rally pretty strongly there. And of course, we've got Dodge from Jeff Kadakis is pretty much flat. And what else we got there? Pulse Dodge there also is down a little bit. This looks like the best pickup for me out of all the 9-inch tokens because it's still very much near the bottom and has not that many holders. So liquidity is 26K on it. That's pretty much it. So just do your due diligence. Where the ETH goes, it's actually down 12.7% after having a bit of a rally. And of course, this is the third token in the 9-inch. That's pretty much down the bottom there too. I'm not sure how many holders there are. Let's go have a quick look at that and the supply. This was the third token that got recently airdropped, probably as a distraction because of the delay of the audit. So they just decided to issue another airdrop for that. 4,559 addresses, it says, and 1 million tokens. So I don't know what the biggest holders have got, but let's have a quick look. And where did the ETH go? Where did the ETH go? So we've got 9.2% in this top address here. I think that might be the team address. We've got the Pulsex with 8%. We seems to have a couple of addresses with 4 or 3% in them. So there are some pretty large holders in there. So take that into account. All right, that is pretty much it. Let's jump away to the Pulsechain project team. So this has been real excitement as after 100 days. and getting all these native Pulsechain teams launching. We've got lots of great devs in the community. We're very lucky to have that in Pulsechain, a very well-developed dev crew. They're all very intelligent, very creative, and they all have a big heart out for success for the community. So I think we're in a really good space, and that fits pretty well with some of the values that Richard Hart has always espoused in Sci-Vive and other things like that. So really, really cool. So we've got some of the leaders, of course, is the TRH tokens. We've got Burn at the moment, up 20%. Definitely that was underpriced. And let's have a quick look at the Burn token. Yeah, that was underpriced. Had a little pump yesterday, and is now at 4012.66. We're watching out for that. Ophir, of course, is the second endowment token launched by Rag to Riches and Crypto Heartbeat. It had a nice little rise, then sold off, and now it's had a nice little pump out of the day. They're up 70%. Only 20k liquidity. Just take that into account. Plant of Seed, of course, all part of the TRH GameFi. They're up 15, 14% respectively. Plant doing pretty well there. I think let's have a look at a bit of a plant there. Yeah, a little bit of plant there, still on the bottom floor though. Seed, of course. Seed, I called Seed yesterday. Someone will know in Discord. We had a little pump after that, after I called it, which is kind of nice. And I still think it's relatively cheap. But then there's a lot of supply coming with V4. So you got to balance it out. There's a lot of supply coming. Might be not much supply at the moment, but once people start minting out, could get a lot in there. Now, water's done pretty well too out of the TRH ecosystem, up 6%, and it's had a couple good days in the old water, which has been pretty nice to see as well. So nice one there for water. Other than that, Pulse Kittens has been up 10%. We haven't talked much about Pulse Kittens, but they've got pretty small liquidity in there. But they're up a little bit there. You can see the price chart, not the best looking one, but definitely they've been ticking along on the old Pulse Kittens. That's pretty much it. The top ones there. In terms of top liquidity, TRH has got over $500,000 in there, 530,000. Tetra, which has done really well with its staking protocol, with all of them just getting staked out straight away. They've got more staking pools, I believe, coming, but 172,000 is that. Oh, it just got sold off there too, so it's down 9.6%. So yeah, that's getting hit at the moment, but actually very good protocol. So yeah, waiting for the tech to launch, as I understand it. Beetroot as well, obviously benefiting from this Atropa P die, and of course there is a theory out there around that. It definitely looks like activity is definitely going through there, and it looking like that Beetroot's going to have a big burn from that result of all that volume going through for Atropa die and stuff like that. So 0001,347 is a little price increase there, 5%. And I think Beetroot is undervalued. I think Randy Alaski says Beetroot's undervalued. I agree with him on that. There's the privacy hub, and you can do privacy transactions, things like that. So if there are people doing sneaky little protocols, the privacy hub is a good place to funnel funds through, right? And the millions in particular. All right, so that's pretty much it. We got Time Token there, and Tony ticking along, one of the two DeFi, the Time Internet Money Wallet, and the Tony there for DeFi. That is, got decent liquidity as well. P share from Pulse Rate, it's got decent liquidity in it, 50k, 40k as well. So those are some of the leaders there in liquidity on my watch list, which leads us into watch time. Zen. Now we don't talk too much about Zen, but Zen's going to have a lot of protocols coming to Pulsechain, and I'm sure we're going to enjoy the benefit of that just on the buy and burns and the EIP 1559, and of course if you love the ultimate TGN ecosystem, then PCN. Zen, although they are having a lot more legitimate DeFi coming onto the protocols with DEXs and things like that in that system. So I think that might mature as well. So there we are. All right, that is pretty much it on those, which leads us into what? Leads us into, I think I covered everything there. Stablecoins. I just want to look at the CST stablecoin quickly. We can see that on the biggest liquidity at 64k, it is oh man, look at that. It got pumped way above $1. It's supposed to be peaked to $1 arbitrage, and it got pumped way above $1 there, $1.07. It is now at discount at 3%, 97 cents, so especially arbitrage. I think the PHUX balance of fork is helping us a lot better though, in terms of the variant function they use for that for stables, which is closer to a 1-to-1 swap for stables, so that's pretty better. This is CST versus Pulse though. So that's pretty much it on there. And that leads us into the Hex Daily Stats, which is not bad. We're 55 minutes on the hour on day 100, which is pretty awesome. Celebrating obviously the 100 days and talking about the highlights. We've got the Hex Daily Stats coming out, which is obviously where it all began. and we're going to be talking about that. So let me just see what day, 5/8, and how far through are we? 25 minutes. So we're going to talk about the Hex Daily stats on that too. So we'll get into that. Before we do though, let's catch up on the chat there first and do that. Right, where are we up to? Let's jump all the way back up here. I think we got up to Anita was in the house, so that was good. Hexcavator, yeah boy. Let me jump through some of that. We got Pulsechain in the house. Good to see you, Token and chat family. Hope everybody has been able to enjoy some beach time this summer. Absolutely. I hope people have. Thanks, Arch. Is charity. Very nice. Wasn't says, I feel like this is a gift. RH wouldn't want his non-believers to get rich. Says that's true. We posted a couple of videos on that yesterday on Hex Token channel and Superman Crypto on that topic exactly. He sounded the alarm every time there was a real scam, and now something that's truly has huge implications that could really jeopardize Pulsechain. Why wouldn't he come out and say not to mess with it? Says wasn't. Well, he's not going to really make any comments at the moment, given the SEC much around anything like that. So yeah, but there's going to be lots of different things coming on Pulsechain that are going to be clever, going to be disguised. There's lots of different things going on there. It's just the way it's going to be. Valiant's in the house with the thumbs up, like that. Wish everything and everyone nothing but the best for all of you. Have a blessed day. Absolutely. Thank you too. We got Jenny as well. Jumped in late today. Hello everybody. Good to see Jenny. Who else there? Archie says you're very welcome. Yeah, about the gifts. Yeah, big shout out to you, Archie. Thanks very much for supporting the channel, and of course, congratulations to everybody in chat. Now, when you get the memberships, you can use emojis in the chat and things like that. So get in there on that and use those. All right, what are we at? 57 minutes. Let's get into the updates. So here we are on the Ethereum side. Day one was day 1357, the 20th of August. Yeah, that's a correct day. And we got the price at 0.4 of a penny on the old ETH chain, so holding pretty steady. No change today in the price. Yay, that's good, eh? We got the payout per T-share 6.617 is the payout Hex per T-share. We got a share rate jump of 18.5. We're at 29,069. Remember that with the next big one, we're expecting a huge jump on the 22nd of November, approximately, of about 1,400 Hex. So earlier pays better. We got 39.26% of APY reward for existing T-shares. We've got 240 million Hex in the pool, 272K USD, and 44 Ethereum in the liquidity pool on the old ETH chain. T-shares are down 1,700. We've got 9.8 million T-shares at the moment on the on the Ethereum side for Hex. Looking at the percentage of coins staked at the moment, 9.29% of all Hex is staked on Ethereum. We've had modest penalties, 400,000 on penalties. The liquid holders, we're up 7 on liquid holders on holding Hex on ETH chain, and we're down 11 miners at the moment, down to 120,347. So this is the area that has to grow at the moment. So that's pretty much it on the ETH chain. On Pulsechain, of course, day 100. We've got the 20th of August, 2023. And of course, the price there is at 0.0777. That's a good lucky number there. But of course, that's below 0.8 of a penny. So almost down to 0.75 of a penny on there. Down 2.1% at the moment. The payout per T-share is 6.665 Hex per T-share. We've got the share rate up 6.6, so lower than what we had on the Ethereum chain. We're at 29,071. The average mining length 7.04 years, which is shorter than on Ethereum. The APY there 39% on the Pulsechain there. Let's have a look at the T-share pool. The ownership pool on Hex is down 741 on Pulsechain, and we're at 9,864,000 T-shares in the old ownership pool on Pulsechain. And what else are we going to say? Lock percentage of coins, 9.44% of Hex is locked on Pulsechain. We had another great day in penalties. These penalties just keep coming on the old Pulsechain at almost 2 million. And of course, that's where all the volatility is. But yeah, it's almost the last 40 days. Last 40 days, we've been having all these penalties. Look at that. 40 days ago, 30 days ago, 20 days ago, and the last 10 days. Look at that. Penalties just keep flying on the old Pulsechain. Not on the ETH chain, on the Pulsechain there. So we've got change in holders there, down 21. And we've got miners down 29 today. We're at 123,904. That is pretty much it for results for day 100 on Hex. So we've covered Pulsechain. We've covered that. The one thing we haven't covered, though, is PulseX pools. We're going to have a snapshot of that for the end of day 100, which we're basically at the moment. So let's have a quick look to see where the pools are at the moment on these farms. Because as you guys know, we're kind of documenting it here on Hex Token and Superman Crypto. So we've got the DAI pools there at the moment. DAI versus Pulse, 82% APR at the moment. 18.2 million liquidity in there. USDC from Ethereum with Pulse, 76% APR. $7.3 million in that moment. Wrapped ETH from Ethereum with Pulse, 65% APR with 8.6 million liquidity. And finally, the Bridgestone one, USD Tether, I should say, with Pulse, 82%, and of course, 6.8 million liquidity. Those are the four Bridgestone peers. In terms of the native Richard Hart pools, we've got PulseX Pulse, 13.6%, 27.5 million liquidity, and the Hex Pulse peer, 19% with just under 20 million, 19.7 million in liquidity there. Finally, the last mile token, the incentive token, we've got 8% and 78% APRs there with 9.3 and 9.6 million liquidity, respectively. That's day 100 results. And of course, looking at V2, let's go look at V2. This is where you earn the 0.22% of the 0.29% fee. And of course, we have 0.07% buy and burn on this particular side of V2. And we have 100%, of course, on of buy and burn on V1. But let's have a quick look at the pools. So we're going to go to the info tab on the ellipsis here. Go to pools, and hopefully they populate. They never works when I go do it, does it? 50-50, no, it's not even 50-50. I reckon it's probably like 10-20. It's just to embarrass me on the old live stream. But anyway, we've got one pool popped up there, 30.7%. Anyway, there's lots of pools there with nice APRs. And of course, you can check those out. Fortunately, we won't be able to archive that because it's not populating properly on my screen today. We got two now. We got two. I refreshed. We got two now. How about that? That's crazy. That's pretty much it on those as well. I'm going to one more refresh. Let's do one more refresh, and that's it. No, that's it. All right. I'm out of there. All right. That's Hex Day Stats. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Great celebration, of course. And to wrap up the day, we're going to finish off some of the comments. And so let's get into that. Some of the comments here. We've got Big Kahuna says TRH immune to the blue moon. Absolutely. We've got Check My Pulse. Good evening, Hex Token family. Good to see Check My Pulse. Paul Satch says this might be the most unexciting day 100 of any major layer one chain in history of crypto. Says Paul. Unexciting day. Yeah. True. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. We've covered, I think, a lot of the cool key metrics. Let's end our poll though. And we've got polls on both channels. So let's have a look at the poll results. And unfortunately, I can't pull these up. But what is your Pulsechain highlight? This is on the Hex Token channel. What is your Pulsechain highlight for the first 100 days? Others post in live chat. Launch day, bridge open, 57%. So that's the number there. So 57%. So people really love the launch day and the bridge opening. It was very exciting, I must agree. Number two. So look at this. This is cool. Everybody gets a SEC whale level buying opportunities. 18% love that. Yeah, 18%. They know what to accumulate the good stuff. The highest stakes, 18% as well. Yep, the highest stakes was a pretty fun premiere if you were there. And of course, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th in particular last weekend was good too. And I'm sure it's been going well. Highest stakes premiere and the big billboards. Don't forget that outside one of the big streaming services. I don't know which one it is. Is it Netflix? Not sure, but they got a big billboard out there as well. Native Pulsechain projects go live, 6%. While we've had tons of them go live, a lot of the medium, small ones, apart from PHUX, which is probably one of the bigger ones. We've had a lot of DEXs and farms and things pop up there. We've had the Coast Fiat on-ramp, off-ramp. We've had lots of DEX aggregators like Batias, like Portal X. Really has been pretty fun like that. We've had a lot of teams come to provide solutions like Dipcatcher, doing bridges for, Pulse Ethereum bridges. We've had lots of cool things happen amongst some of the devs there as well. So it's been a pretty cool time. 49 votes, so a big shout out for that. It's pretty cool. On Pulsechain, let's end the Superman Crypto. Let's end it on there and see what the results are on Superman Crypto. So we had 57% launch day open bridge. That's pretty much the same result. That's the same result as we had on the old Hex Token channel. SEC whale level buying opportunity, 28%, so even more aggressive on there, and 14% on the native Pulsechain projects, and 0 on the highest stakes premier over there as well. We had 7 votes though, 7 votes on that one, and on Hex Token we had 49 votes, so a bit different there. So 56 votes all up. That's pretty much it. thanks very much for voting, and hope you guys enjoyed the 100-day celebration and highlight show. I certainly have enjoyed covering a lot of it, and hopefully this becomes a bit of an archive on the old play. Check My Pulse says he's going to watch the replay already, and Adam says launch day was epic for me since I caught it real time. Says Adam, well done, well played on that. Congratulations. All right, let's play out some cool stuff, and we're going to play out some cool stuff from Richard Hart. Why not? Around some of the successes as well. So let me just find some of these to cue them up. Let me find these here. I think this one is the one I'm after. Is this the one I'm after? I think it is. Let me try this one. I think this is the one. Let's go. Bye for now.
Oh my God, will Pulse fill up? Yes. If it accrues so much value and gets so many users, yeah, the fees will go up and you'll just get really, really rich holding Pulse watching. Oh no, more really, really rich people. Like, you can't, here's the thing. You cannot force a free market to keep things cheap, because then crappy use cases that aren't valuable will outbid useful and valuable use cases. And do you want your chain with limited capacity to be filled up with crap? No, you don't want your chain filled up with crap. You want it filled up with nice, good things. Well, then how do you know what the difference between nice and crap is? By bidding. And the people that see more value in the chain pay more to use the chain. And then your limited resource chain, through the bidding mechanism, is filled with the most valuable things that people can fill it with. And so this like socialist USSR decree that, oh, we're just going to have cheap fees forever, it doesn't work, because there's a finite amount of space and you have to allocate it to certain users. And who should you allocate it to? Those that can most afford it, because they're bidding with their money for how valuable the transaction is. So the solution to a limited resource isn't to screw around with the pricing. The solution to a limited resource is to create more of the resource. So the Ethereum chain is full. Great. Well, we're going to make one with 4 times more throughput, and it won't be full. It'll be empty, and let's go fill it up.
$3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.